It does not appear that there's any kind of an effort up there yet. Now remember, oh my God.
Oh my God.
That looks like a second plane.
September the 11th was the point in time where this country really had to make the decision that our borders could no longer be the first line of defense. Our borders had to be the last line of defense.
As you know, I called for the Department of Homeland Security. We want to know how better to enforce our borders. We want to know when they're coming in their country and if they're overstaying their visas. We need to know that in America.
After the attacks of September the 11th, 2001, George W. Bush's initial comprehensive immigration plan was put on hold, and focus was redirected to securing the nation's borders. Ralph Basham headed U.S. Customs and Border Protection from 2006 to 2009.
I think President Bush, from my perspective, had a very realistic approach to trying to deal with immigration.
It wouldn't be until 2004 that President Bush attempted to push through his pre-9/11 plan. In January, he proposed a temporary worker program.
This new temporary worker program will bring more than economic benefits to America. Our homeland will be more secure.
But it died quickly in the House due to opposition from the president's own party. Yet that November, President Bush was reelected with the help of 43% of the Hispanic vote, the highest for a GOP candidate since exit polling began in 1972. In 2006, Bush signed the Secure Fence Act.
The fence was always a part of the overall strategy for securing our borders between the ports of entry.
Secure Fence Act is part of our efforts to reform our immigration system. We have more to do.
Well, it was effective to the extent that it made it more difficult to come across, not impossible. But look, hunger and need is a powerful driver.
The president knew that a big problem was illegal immigration, and he knew that if we could get a handle on that and slow down that flow, that would go a long way to deal with the very emotional sense here in the country at the time that illegal immigration was destroying our country.
Americans also thought the government wasn't doing enough to stop the flow of illegal immigrants. At the same time, President Bush again attempted broad immigration reform. His bill included a pathway to citizenship and another temporary worker visa. But the overwhelming public sentiment at the time was opposed to measures clearing a way to citizenship for illegal immigrants. The 2007 proposal set off another round of vitriol. Demonstrators took to the nation's streets to show support for their side of the issue.
The president is honestly, I believe he's just simply a guy that looks at borders and says, yeah, it's really not all that significant.
If you break into my country, you know what? I'm going to take your DNA and I'm going to put you on a plane and I'm going to send you the hell back to your frickin' country.
He doesn't have a right to be in his country.
What? But that has nothing to do with the fact that he was...
According to Gustavo Torres, the ever-present noise on the immigration issue contributed to failure of the bill.
So they silenced really, decent voices in both parties, in the Republican Party and the Democratic. So they were very quiet. They shut up them because they're very loud. They were very loud.
Just had a good exchange with my fellow Republicans. We talked about immigration. Some members in there believe that we need to move a comprehensive bill. Some don't.
He recognized if I can't get, comprehensive immigration reform, I must, try to shut down our borders from being penetrated by illegal immigration. So he was very clear on that. He followed that up by doubling the size of the Border Patrol. There wasn't enough money that they could throw at us at the time.
The divisiveness that defined the 2007 immigration debate was used to help Democrats in 2008.
We should not use immigration as a tactic to divide. Instead, we should pull the country together to get this economy back on track. That's what I intend to do as President of the United States of America.
What I fear is that if we go down this road again and they decide we're going to double the size of the Border Patrol again or increase it again or whatever the case may be, there has to be a commitment in the long term to fund that.